The partnership that we have with the foundation has really made a big difference in the district.
Here at Goose Hill, we're very happy and excited about everything the foundation is supporting here in terms of our youngest learners using technology in the classroom.
We've been helpful in funding technology, really groundbreaking stuff that has not been available at the elementary school level previously.
There are so many things that are happening here that have been enhanced by this partnership. The Light Sail program, which is personalized reading. Not only is it the student reading the material, but they are actually being assessed as they go through the books.
It measures their reading levels while they're reading, and it gives them an opportunity to interact with the teacher if the teacher chooses to. The teacher can pose questions, the kids can type their answers on that iPad.
I used to read like regular books, and now this is so much better because it assesses you while you're reading, whereas with a regular book you would usually be assessed when you're done.
How it's constantly challenging you and testing you to show what level you're on and how well you read, and if you need help somewhere.
If a child is having some troubles, I will know that based on what information I'm getting on my iPad, and I can quickly meet with that child to determine what it is that they're having trouble with. It provides me with immediate feedback so that I can respond to that child's needs immediately.
The old world, the student would have to get up, ask the teacher. If the teacher's meeting with kids, the student would have to wait. That all happens right now.
If you're struggling with a text, the teacher would see that in your answers, and then they would know where to help you.
Since you're being constantly assessed, you have to be more attentive and pay more attention to what you're reading.
And for the short responses, for example, they can go back into the text to get the information they need to help them with their written response.
When there's a challenging question and I get it right, it always makes me feel more confident, and I get more and more into the book.
But they can actually communicate with their teacher, not just by discussion, not by writing in a reader's notebook, but actually typing a thought back to the teacher.
Benefit is it's happening in real time. Most books usually require the kids to answer questions after they've done the reading, and this is unique in the sense that it's happening while they're reading.
The help that you need immediately when you're on Light Sail, whereas with a book report, it would take a while for you to write it, the teacher to read it, the teacher to grade it, and then you to get it back, and then the teacher to schedule a meeting with you to help. Say you're reading and you come across a word you don't know. For example, contrary here, you would highlight it, click define, and then you would get the definition.
I like this better than reading just a regular book because it stops you and it makes you think.
Usually at the beginning of a school year, you're spending time trying to assess where that child is. All of that work has already been done, so you can get them into the appropriate level book right away.
I like the questions personally because they challenge my level of reading, and I'm always getting smarter.
That is a real positive for them. They realize that they don't have to just be seen as either an average reader or say below average reader. They can see that they are in charge of their own growth.
The great thing about it is that kids can actually log in to the app at home. You don't need to bring the book home. You don't have to forget your book.
It makes me excited to read.
It has completely motivated, unmotivated readers. It empowers readers. They're able to monitor their own progress. There's a calendar feature where they can go back and they can see how much they've read each day.
If you look back and you see that you read a lot that week, then you can be proud of yourself.
I had a conversation with a student who said reading in the evenings was really tough, so we used the calendar feature, and the student said, you know what, I could read before I get on the bus, and sure enough, that student started reading 30 or 40 minutes a day in the morning.
I mean, I'm really busy in the afternoons because I do ballet, but so it's really intense, so I have to know how much time I need to read. And there's actually a section on the calendar where you can click to show you the whole month, and you can see how much you've read this week compared to last week.
The reading logs that teachers used to have parents sign every night, yes, the student read 20 minutes. How does the parent really know whether that student read 20 minutes or 40 minutes?
Say if I read a really good book, I always have trouble finding one that's as good as that when I'm done, but they have a section that says related books to the book you're reading now, so when you're done with that, you can just pick up one of those.
eSpark allows every student to work at his or her own level, which gives them that sense of autonomy and differentiation, which is really important for learners.
They're working with their iPad, they log on, they have their own password, and as they are logged on, they have apps on their desktop that's just for them, and it's called a Quest.
One of the great things about eSpark, it's this combination of videos and apps, and so when students are going through their Quest, they watch a video to explain the concepts to them, and the videos look like this. They'll then move on to play with apps that have been selected individually for each student.
It helps that child who may not have that confidence in math want to keep working in this particular program.
You get to see how much, and it's fun because you try out different things and you see what's right. When I find one, it's nice because when I accomplish one, I'm really happy because I'm learning it.
I'm about to watch a video that's gonna help me learn about fractions. The apps also help you, just like the videos, with something you're about to learn about. Click these numbers on the side. It shows a number, and you have to hit one of these numbers.
When a student is really engrossed in what they're doing, when they're engaged in the learning activity, they're going to internalize what they're working on much, much better. It's going to be way stickier for them.
It helps me know how much the coins are. It seems like that you're actually counting money.
18 goes into 6, and then 4, and then 2. If you're having trouble on a problem you've never seen before, you could just remember something that you learned on one of the games in eSpark.
The dashboard is a tool that I use to know exactly what the children have been working on during the time that they were in their iPad center. And the dashboard tells me the number of students that I have, and I have 21 students.
And the data is being shared back to the teacher through their dashboard in real time. Teachers don't need to give a test every week and every month. They're getting that information all the time.
This column tells me about the apps that they use during their time using eSpark. Another way of knowing what they're learning is using the videotape component of eSpark. And that is a time the children share with me what they understood from the lesson, and they show me how they solved problems during that lesson.
Now I'm about to record my video on eSpark, and I'm writing down the script for it.
What's great about them talking on camera about what they've learned is that by having to rehearse it and prepare it, they really solidify their learning, and then the teacher gets to really get an insight into how they're thinking and what aspects of the learning they perhaps didn't understand or that they more fully understood.
So the robotics program has really been amazing. The benefits for the children are endless.
Hi, my name is Lily, and I'm part of the FLL robotics team. And this is our team's robot.
They've had a robotics program at the high school for years, and we felt it was time to move it down to the elementary school.
We can program it to do certain missions.
So they think about what they want the robot to do, and then they program that robot to complete the mission.
It's kind of like a giant Lego car, almost, that you control yourself.
The children program what they think it's going to do, what they want it to do, and then they test it out on the field.
It's like an advanced toy. This is a color sensor, and there were different lines on the table that had all of the missions on it.
Today we have our robot that we built throughout the course of the year. It's going straight, and it stops at green. It turns back onto green, goes to black, and pulls back, and then the program is over.
We're very lucky that the Ed Foundation really inspired us to start this program. They brought it to us and felt it would be great for our kids. They helped fund the program. We had to buy the robots and the playing field and all the pieces that go along with that. And plus, the competitions that we brought the children to all had fees involved that the Ed Foundation helped fund.
So the Educational Foundation provided some of the initial support for our in-house laboratory, and it came together very quickly as a result that the money was available and we were able to purchase what we needed to start a very nice in-house laboratory. For instance, this summer is the first summer we have 2 students working at Stony Brook University, and they learned their skills here in the in-house laboratory, and they were able to then impress the mentors at Stony Brook well enough to be able to be accepted into their programs there this summer. So one of the goals of any research program is to have the students enter higher and higher level competitions, and we're now starting to break ground at that, where our students, our seniors, have entered Intel this year. We had 4 students enter Intel for the first time. We've had students enter Siemens competition for the first time this year, and as well as the International Science and Engineering Fair. And this year, one of our students took 2nd place in the biochemistry division of that fair, and one student took 3rd place in the computer science division of that fair.
My children are growing up in a very different age than my husband and I grew up, and there's only so much that we can teach them and expose them to at home. So it's really exciting that they're going to be learning all of this at school, and the Cold Spring Harbor School District is responsible for giving them that competitive advantage in life.
The foundation has been so generous in its support of the work that we do in the
To
classroom.
keep this program going in the right direction, we will always need something new and something better as it comes along. This is a very, very rapidly growing field, evolving field, and as such, the demands to keep up with it are quite large as well.
Not only through anecdotal stories, but actually through data. The more activities that students complete with these types of programs, that their test scores have gone directly up in relation to the number of activities.
Their whole world is a playground. They want to learn everything they can, and the technology just takes it to another level for them. So they're playing and learning and creating and wondering and getting answers, and it's all playful. And that's what learning should be for our littlest.